Hey guys, it's Bailey and welcome back to the channel for what is going to be a video all about my top 5 favorite eyeshadow pencils, and I'm talking like the big chubby kind, not like an eyeliner. Something, I mean, you'll see them coming up in the video, but for reference, this size, not an eyeliner. And I wanted to focus on these because lately I have been loving fast beauty. I mean, not that we don't all pretty much every day, but just for the past few days, life has been busy and I have been looking for something, if I wear any eye makeup at all, just something that I can put on my eyes and either takes no blending or very minimal blending before I am out the door. So I have been kind of coming back to these and really evaluating which are my favorites, hence the top 5 video. So I have quite a price spectrum here, so a little bit of variety for everyone. And the other great thing about these is they're not only good for, you know, quick looks, they're good to use as eyeshadow bases, or at least the products that I'm about to talk about. Not all shadow pencils are created equal, naturally, otherwise we wouldn't have a top 5, but these in particular are good not only worn alone and without a primer. I don't wear a primer with any of the products I'm about to talk about today, and they still last all day, smudge free, budge free, crease free, fade free, all that good stuff. But they also remain tacky for a little bit of time to give you a little bit of time to play, but they also hold on and act as a good foundation to powder eyeshadow, or really whatever it is you want to put on over top. So these really are the true multitaskers without actually having to get your fingers dirty, if you know, as opposed to something like a pot or a product that you might have to like squeeze out onto your finger to dab, anything like that. These are like the best of all worlds when it comes to easy one and done shadows that also provide a ton of versatility in terms of how they can be used in your everyday makeup. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. My drugstore picks start with those from NYC. These retail for $2.99 a piece, and they are the CityProof 24-hour, what are these? CityProof waterproof eyeshadows. I have a couple shades. The two that I just kind of found within arm's reach were the shade 625, which is this white, acts as a great eye base if you want to make colors pop, or 610, which is Tribeca Taupe. Now, Tribeca Taupe is one that I really love because it is a great neutral taupe shade, great for every day. However, it does, the way mine has kind of shaken out, you can see it's split here, kind of points to one of the flaws in the formula. By how I preface this video, all of these are amazing formulas. They do, you know, they last, they apply easily, they give you a little bit of time to apply eyeshadow over top. But one reason why you might opt for one of the other formulas I'm about to talk about, just a differentiating factor, is that this has kind of a drier, waxier formula. As a result, it grips onto eyeshadows really well, but over time, if you're not using it every day and you've had it for a longer period of time like I have, I bought these when they first came out. Has it been 6 months? At least 5 or 6 months back. That kind of harder waxiness can make them break. I haven't been rolling these up and down to really use them. Obviously, I still have kind of a tapered tip here, and so there really isn't a reason for them to have like broken off anywhere. It's just, you know, I think it's a hazard of the formula, which has its pros when it comes to applying product over top, but not so much when it comes to product longevity in your collection if you're not using it all day, every day, all the time. Next up is from the brand Jordana. It's the 12-hour made to last eyeshadow pencil. The shade that I have here is Pink Evermore. This is only $1 more than the NYC, but it is way creamier in terms of formula. So it has kind of stood, oh, and the pencil itself isn't automatic like the NYC. It's a little bit creamier, it goes on a little bit smoother, is a little bit easier to blend, but doesn't dry down to quite the, I guess, firm hold. If you can imagine a hairspray, this is like a light and movable hold, whereas the NYC is more of a firm hold. Not that it's uncomfortable, that kind of made it sound like it makes your eyelids stiff. It doesn't at all. It's just like if you can imagine how they dry down. That's my analogy there. The only, some might call it a downside with this formula, or the line specifically, is the lack of shade range. There are some beautiful shades. This in particular is a gorgeous shade, but it's not a wide shade range, and the shades that they have aren't for everyone. Like, they do have those beautiful bold colors, greens and blues and things like that, but not a whole lot of like home-based staple taupes and pinks and neutrals and things like that. And this shade is very glittery. So even those kind of, you know, more natural shades that they have still have that glitter in them. So that's why this range might not be for everyone. But if you're looking for something that is in the same price bracket as the NYC, you don't mind having that little bit of extra fun in your shade range, and you want something that's a little creamier, this is a great line to look for. The next product pick is just a few dollars more, still in the drugstore range, but it's gonna give you those home-based shades. We all know them, we all love them. They are the Study Color Tattoos 24-hour concentrated crayon. And the two shades that I have, like I said, they were just like at arm's reach today, are Bronze Truffle and Audacious Asphalt. And these, true to the name, true to the potted formula, once they put them in the crayon, even though they are an automatic, they are still very creamy. I compare them more so to the Jordana formula than the NYC. Very creamy. They give you and kind of thinner, I would say, than the NYC. It's just like a very, very thin, it feels very light on the eyelids. Thin formula, applies smoothly, gives you 30 to 45 seconds to work with before it fully dries down, but once it does, it is down. This is a really steadfast formula to look for from the drugstore. Now moving into the higher end brands, this next formula is one that I almost hesitated to mention because it looks like in some places it's been reformulated. The original formula is available on the website, which is Mallee, by the way, but on Ulta, you'll understand what I'm saying. So the product I'm talking about is the Evercolor Shadow Sticks. Tons of people have raved about these. The formula is amazing, but it looks like there's a new Evercolor Shadow Stick extra on the Ulta website that's not on the Mallee website. So I'm not sure what that's all about, if it is the same formula. The packaging looks the same, so I'm not sure what it's about. This is a 5 crayon set that I think I might have gotten from Ulta or QVC, but it is if it is an old formula, it might be an old formula. I still had to include it though because this is still available on the Mallee website, so if you can get your hands on them, they're incredibly worth it. Here's why. The shade range, this is easily the widest shade range of shadow sticks that you will see of any of the products that I'm talking about here today. So that is number one. Number two is the fact that they give you that ultra creamy, very lightweight feeling formula, but in this very nice, precise shadow stick. I mean, by comparison, here is one of the Maybellines. Like, it's super easy to get on the inner corner. You can actually do some eyelining in the waterline if you want. It's precise for the lash line. These aren't bad when they're sharpened, but if you don't keep them sharp, like you can see mine here is getting a little dull, it gets really hard to get, not just on the lower lash line, but in the waterline, or if you want to do kind of any eyelining up here on the lash line and keep it even mildly precise, gets really hard with these chubbier shadow sticks. And so that is where the Mallee shadow sticks come in as a real asset to have on hand, because you can get in the inner corner and in all those kind of hard to reach places, as well as really easily cover the entire eyelid, which hopefully you'll be able to see in the demo that I will have started running or have already been running throughout my rambling here. But you can see there's such an easy formula to apply. You can blend it out with your finger. Here you can see I'm blending it out with a brush, and it makes for such quick work no matter how or where you want to apply them. By the way, if you have any intel on what's going on with the formula, definitely let me know in the comments below. I feel like it was a really quiet reformulation if they did, and I don't feel like they needed to do it because it's an amazing formula. So highly recommend you get your hands on them, the original, if they did, because I just can't speak to the new stuff unless you guys know, and let people know in the comments below. And last is no stranger to the channel. Anytime I mention a luxury shadow stick, this is always my pick. It's the Marc Jacobs Twinkle Pop eyeshadow sticks. I think if that's not the official name, I'll put Twinkle Pop eye sticks. That's what it is. Such a fun name, even more fun product. So these are kind of, they are tapered and they are smaller, not quite as small as the Mallee Evercolor shadow sticks, but they do make it a little bit easier to get a more precise application on the lower lash line. Not so much on the waterline if you want to, but these are truly unique because they have a cooling sensation about them. You apply them to the lid and it just feels like a really, not like icy hot cool. It's not like burning like that. It's just a very mild, very refreshing, like if you have allergies or if you're ill and you just need like a little bit of a refresher in the eye area in the morning, these will perk you right up. And they're all very shimmery, which might be a downside for some because the Mallee line does have matte colors within it. I don't think there are any matte colors in the Marc Jacobs line, but the illumination in this formula really brightens your eyes up, and like I said, because the size makes it easy to get it in your inner corner, not make a mess of things, which is nice. But overall, it's just a really beautiful formula and really beautiful packaging. I mean, these are definitely statement vanity pieces if there ever was one. So those are all my picks for eyeshadow sticks. I'd love to hear yours in the comments below. If I left any out, if there's some you want to add, definitely go for it. Besides that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video was useful. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.